I don't have any history with these games. I didn't really like Diablo that much. I don't stick with games, and just the viewpoint alone kind of takes me out. I played PoE 1 for about an hour. I felt overwhelmed immediately, kind of lost. I think listening to the internet talk about that crazy skill tree is definitely scary, or was at least. But I started playing this, and I have, how many hours we got? We're 27.1 hours into the game, and I've had a couple crashes. There's been, you know, some of those things that everybody's kind of talked about. I started with the mercenary. At about level 10 or 12, I tried a melee character, the warrior, and then, or the blacksmith, and then the monk. I hated it. I was like, ugh. But to be fair, I hadn't really sunk my teeth into the mercenary. All the little skills and the passive skill tree and the support gems, that all really hadn't, like, I don't know, I hadn't really hit me yet. It wasn't until about level 15 or so that I was starting to like have a hard time with the mercenary, like regulars. There's specifically, let me see if I can find it actually. There's one specific guy that gave me a really hard time as a mercenary that I was like, man, I am not having a good time with this. And I'll show you. But it's this particular enemy that caused me to like take a step back and learn how to play this game. Oh, there he is right there. Oh, I just killed him. That guy right there. This Warborn Hungry. This one's a special one, I think. But what it does is when you shoot at it with the regular abilities, yeah, it was shooting a little ghost back at me. And dude, it took me so long to figure this out. How to deal with this dude. It was bombs, by the way. It was the grenades or whatever. In any case, we don't have to be here anymore. Let me get out of here now. I was applying my points. This is back to the first impressions. I was applying my points, my passives, just fine. I started to go a little bit armor, and then I kind of wanted to like build a guy that like could just kill everything in one shot, was like my plan. I unlocked the grenade stuff. We're still kind of working on this. This might be bad. I don't know. Oh, here's a quick tip. This is like a high level, only real gamers could totally get this tip. Okay. This is for the real gamers out there. I know this is kind of a filthy casual review of the game, but this is for the real gamers. This skill tree, this passive skill tree, there's a trick to it to understand it even more. Now, this took me like hours to realize. But you see on the skill tree, like, see this area here? See how it's shaped like a crossbow? That area right up there? Well, those are all crossbow skills. Over here, there's what? This was shaped like an arrowhead. What? There's one over here that's shaped like a hammer. So many. It just didn't dawn on me even at all. Like that's what they're doing here. But I started looking into the skill tree, which helped a lot. But the thing that really pushed my gameplay or my ease of playing this game over the edge was this area right here, the skills, the passive skill gems. I believe that's what they're called. Support gems. No, whatever these are, these like totally changed the whole game for me. I didn't realize you could take them out and put them in other stuff, so you could really like kind of tweak your stuff. So the weapon of mode, or the ability I use the most, is probably this high velocity rounds, and this right here, the scatter shot, like turned it from just shooting one round into like 3 rounds at once, which really made a big difference. And I was able to kill quite a few characters. So understanding that, I then took a different kind of direction. And so I thought, I'll try a melee guy. I got this guy to the first act. I thought I'll try a melee guy and see how it goes. I have like, I went from not liking the melee characters at all to I think my melee character is my favorite character. And I think it's all that stuff. So I guess this is kind of a tips video, I guess. I don't know. Here's a tip. Like, use all your stuff. All your currencies that you're getting, all this stuff in your stash, all these little things, like, use them when you can, wherever they're applicable. I think these are all too low level for me now, so I can't really use these just yet. But like, all this stuff, if you got it, use it. That's made such a huge difference. And then probably the biggest thing, the biggest or best piece of advice I can give if you're having any kind of hard time. I watched Asmongold play this for like 10 hours and he like legitimately couldn't, it was still stuck with like a tree branch for a weapon. No, it was like a club. And he was just talking constantly about like, you don't find a new weapon, you don't get a new weapon. And out in the world, I get it. You don't necessarily, you get gear, but it's all basically to make money. But the gear that I was finding, you know, that money that I'm making, you go to this dude, Finn. This is the guy right here. This dude will change the game for you, but you're gonna have to be willing to fork over some cash. You pick a random two-handed mace or whatever. That's how I got this bad boy right here. And now I've added stuff to it, don't get me wrong. But it started at a really good point. Just look at the physical damage alone. It's really like, it's already in a great position just by itself. So I don't know. I haven't had the hard time everybody else is having. It is a hard game, hard-ish game. But I will say that the game I played before this, I played like all month practically before I played Path of Exile 2. I played this other game and I really think it prepped me for Path of Exile 2. And that game was Vampire Survivors. And I truly think it primed me for this game. So I've had an easy time with it. I've had a fun time with it. Like, I've had my ass handed to me and I've had some stressful moments. Playing the boss with the mercenary, the first boss, I guess, end of Act 1 boss. I think that took me 10 or 15 tries. It was a lot. With my melee character, it took me like 3 tries. I was like, whoa, oh, I'm kind of good at this. so yeah, that's my basic first impressions review from the perspective of somebody who's not, I don't play these games that much. I'm not saying I'm switching. I do really like that this one exists though, and that it feels like a game I can play in the background on a regular basis. So, yeah. Hope that helps somebody. But there's that. Yeah, thanks for listening or watching or whatever.